Well, hello everyone. I hope you've all had a beautiful Christmas. This is the Jack Halford podcast. I'm Jack Halford. This is a notebook that I've made recently. Hope everyone's doing well. I've been on a run today, about 4.5 mile. Feeling stronger, feeling really good. I packed it in for like a few good weeks, and then got back into it all. Gonna rejoin the gym, I reckon, but only to sort of cross train as part of training for running, to be able to run ultra long distances. I'm still very interested in running ultra long distance. I think it's just something that really appeals to me as a person. It started with cycling and then running more recently. Yeah. But I think what I wanted to talk about today was the new year, specifically when you do your what do you call it? New Year's resolutions. See, New Year's resolutions, some people think they're bullshit, but I think the start of the year is a really good time to start introducing new habits, new routines to your lifestyle. And what you've got to remember is you've got to make changes that you are able to maintain and that are reasonably, based in your own reality. So you need to be very self-aware when you're making these resolutions. You need to think, am I actually going to be able to pull this off? Is it within the realms of possibility, or am I too lazy to actually stick to this thing? If so, change it so it's more realistic. And if you want to do some kind of diet, I'm picking like the ketogenic / carnivore sort of thing. Keto more so because then I can eat my veggies, a few berries, and enjoy coffee and stuff and milk. There's more choice than carnivore, basically. It's just whole foods, really, isn't it? Apart from the carbs. So it's going to kickstart my 2025. Probably not going to stick to it after January. Might just take some of the principles from the ketogenic diet and just introduce things like sourdough and rice, basically. Especially with running, I think doing keto with running long distance might be difficult. I think some gels and things would be good to take with me when I'm doing long distance. Although too much sugary shit when you're running is not a good idea. But carbs, pastas and things are quite good. Eggs are really good. So like porridge and eggs, really good. But keep it all realistic. And plan. Start to get ready now. If you're doing any diets or anything, buy all the food. Start eating all the food that you don't want in the house, or get rid of it, give it to other people. Don't waste it. I don't like to see people chucking things away. So don't waste it. You can do it. It's only a month, and once you've done it for a month, if you feel good, keep doing it. It's easier to do things when they become a habit, so that's why you should plan. Get everything in that you need. Cook in bulk. That way, you're more likely to stick to it because you have meals ready to go. You can just whack in the microwave. Yes. Some things that I want to do over the next year are run a faster half marathon, run a faster marathon, and run my first ultra. Proper ultra. So at least, 30 miles, whatever 50k is, do one of them. I'm not really sure how far 50k is. Might just have a look. Now, hey Siri, how far is 50k?
What? What would you like to convert from?
Kilometers to miles.
That would be 164,041.99 feet.
That's not. Hey Siri, how much is 50 kilometers in miles?
31.07 miles.
So 31 miles is a 50. I could do that. Let's say I try and do that, like, I don't know, 3 months from now, 4 months from now. I give myself 6 months to do a 50k. Then I can, like, really get in to the right shape. I can run like a faster one. I can really start to understand my pace and stuff. I'm not doing runs about 8 miles every Sunday now, about a 10-minute pace. So it takes me about an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half to do about 8 miles. So my marathon is like, what? I think my marathon's about 4 hours, my PB for a marathon, which is pretty good. What's a marathon? It's about 26, isn't it? So 26 times 10, 260 divided by 60, it's 4.33. So third of an hour is 20 minutes. So 4 hours, 20 minutes to do about 26 miles. That's a nice steady pace to do on. So if I say, 31 times 10 divided by 60, 5.16. So if I can just run for like 5 hours, then I could probably run that distance comfortably, because that's not a fast pace really. So I think I'm going to do my long runs on time, which sounds, yeah. Because one of the things I signed up for this year was an ultra marathon. It was a 100-mile ultra marathon. I don't know what I was thinking. It would have took about 25 hours. 25 hours was a cut-off. And it was around 400 meter track in Cambridgeshire, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. We weren't allowed headphones, and 50% through the race, halfway through the race, you get to change directions around this 400 meter track. So you get a slightly different view for the next like 50 miles. You can run further than 100 miles. You can run for the whole 25 hours and just see how far you get. But the aim is to do 100 miles so that you could maybe qualify for other ultra marathons. And I think I was just going like crazy. I was just like, I need to do 100 miles now. But what I should have been just doing is just keep on steadily, consistently raising the distances and the times that I was running for, and building a good foundation to become someone who is capable of running that distance. So that's the plan. Build a good foundation to become a long distance runner capable of running these long distance races. Along the way, introduce different fuels and things to see what my body can cope with, what it likes to be fueled with. Just take all of that into account and take notes, learn from my mistakes, trial and error, and yeah, just become engrossed in it. I'm really looking forward to it. I've also got another resolution, which is to grow my own food. So I've got a new allotment in my village that I'm going to try to grow a few different bits. I definitely want to get some lavender started off because I love lavender. It's great for the bees and stuff. I'm going to do tomatoes. Vegetable wise, beetroots, maybe some carrots. Yeah, I love my root veg. I wanted to stick some garlic and onions in there, but I don't know. We'll see. And I'm probably going to try and enter some of the competitions, like the biggest pumpkin, biggest sunflower, stuff like that. This sounds like fun. But yeah, just get started, get things nice and ordered, and just get to grips with the growing seasons and how to look after plants and things. And then I'm sure over the years to come, I'll get really into it, get better at it. I've grown, tomatoes before, lavender before, roses, all sorts. So I'm really looking forward to having a lot more land to get a bigger harvest this year, and pickling stuff as well. So growing my own food, pickling stuff, and running long distance. So trying to become healthier, not just in my physical health, my mental health, maybe become more sociable, take time for myself to create things like this podcast and get in the studio more. I've been lacking a little bit, but I've recently been getting in here more, been writing notes, doing painting and stuff. I think sometimes you just need a rest, and it makes you more enthusiastic about the thing that you love the most, which for me is creating things and making things, especially to sell, but also just because I like the processes. Also be interesting to grow my own things to make pigments from. I was looking into making my own fibre to weave my own linen as well. That seems a bit long. Apparently you can use nettle stems. So what you do to make fibres is you get all of the stems, you sort of get them in water, or you put them on like a damp grass, and it breaks down the outside of it, and then you leave them to dry, and you sort of scrape off the outside, and you sort of fiddle with the fibres on the inside and turn it into like thread yarn, and then you can weave with that, and apparently you can do that with nettle. Hemp is a really good thing, but you need a license to grow hemp in the UK. There's a lot of laws and things, even though we are one of the biggest exporters of cannabis, legal medical cannabis in the UK. It's very illegal in this country to grow any of those types of plants, which is annoying, which have the right license. It doesn't stop a lot of people. But yeah, industrial hemp. I think we should be allowed to grow hemp on your allotments so that you can make your own fibres and things. I think it's a great idea. Also ceramics. This is a nice mug. I think my mate Lucy made this one. I've got some casting plaster, and the plan is to get some clay, start making some nice espresso cups and mugs and things. I love making ceramics. I made my mum a nice bowl for Christmas. I made ceramics in the past, and I really like the process of making something that you can enjoy eating food from. I think the golden moment will be when I'm having vegetables that I've grewn myself in some kind of bowl I've made myself, and just enjoying that whole moment of just, I'm consuming things that I have myself made from the earth, going into me, shat back out, and back to the earth, shat back out into the earth. Interestingly, I have St. Martin's Coffee Roasters coffee in this mug today. It's brought 3 packets of it. It's pretty decent stuff. My normal go-to is obviously Saints of Mocha, but I think any independent coffee roaster is a good choice over the bigger brands. I've been cutting back, obviously, because of the state of the economy, the state of everything. Right now you've got to sort of cut back, haven't you, be a bit frugal. Part of that is going to Waitrose and buying their meat, because they reduce their meat 3 days before it goes off, it seems, on the meat counter. So you can get like A grade sirloin steaks half price if you get there at the right time. Really good quality. You know, getting a massive steak for like £5 when it should be 10. Great for stir fries. Highly recommend. You go to a Waitrose, go to a local butcher's or a good meat counter in a supermarket and get high quality meat. It makes a grand difference to the cooking that you are doing. Oh God, I love steak. I've been eating lots of chicken because it's cheaper recently, and how I've been preparing it is sort of Mexican chicken, which all I do is if I had a bit of roast chicken left over from Christmas and I pull it, and then I add my spices and things, so paprika, chipotle, chili flakes, cayenne pepper, salt, pepper, bit of cumin, and some chipotle hot sauce, onions, garlic, tomato, just things like that. Or I do a kind of stir fry, in which case I'll have some ginger, some garlic, onion, soy sauce, white wine vinegar, and cornstarch to thicken it up after I've added all of that stuff near the end when it's cooked with whatever meat you want, normally chicken, but sirloin works really well with that as well. If I'm doing beef, normally do green bell peppers with it. Really beautiful, because that's kind of what they do at like Chinese restaurants, things. But yeah, you can cook anything with those ingredients. You don't even have to measure it. Don't follow recipes. Just sort of just mess about stuff. You know, use recipes to start with, but then you add more of the ingredients you like. You develop things. That's how you get good at cooking. You just look at things and you change them over time. You remember how to make them. If you miss something out of them, it doesn't matter a whole lot. Always look into substitutions of things if you don't have them, rather than go out and buy new stuff. Then you're going to save money that way. Invest in spices that you will use regularly. That's a good way of saving money. That's what I am doing. You can easily live on £20 or less a week if you invest in some good quality spices at a big shop like or Pack Foods, like an Asian supermarket. Get big packets, or a wild food aisle in the supermarket. Just invest in some things to spice up the plain meats. What's interesting is fancy supermarkets like Waitrose and M&S will price match or even have cheaper chicken breasts and things, which is mind-blowing to me. Like, I went to Waitrose, it was like £5 something for 1.2 kilograms of chicken breasts, whereas Aldi are charging £6 something for 1 kilo. So it's always worth price checking things, and then you're probably getting better quality stuff as well. Frugality check. Good resolution. January, you want to save money. You've just spent all of your money. You're in debt after Christmas. Good time to become frugal. Look at this drawing. Pardon me. Looks like a Rujak test. Blurry. I put this grey board over this notebook I made because I took apart a different notebook after wondering how I can make this one less flimsy, and it just had grey board to reinforce the pages. So that's what I've done. I've clamped these together using a makeshift slapdash sort of book clamp thing that I used in my printing workshops to clamp it together with a bit of PVA. And I've made this, and I'm going to develop it into different, better quality notebooks over time. I've learned since that what you need is a thinner piece of grey board along the spine, bringing these thicker bits in a bit to the inside that way, so that you have more flex on the spine. And you put a thin bit of grey board there, about 1 centimetre, and then what you do is you sort of just wrap that in a paper or something, glue it down, and then you attach the notebook into it with like 1, 2, 2 bits of paper there and there. Very interesting. The reason I like making my own notebooks is because I really like certain types of paper as an artist, and as someone who writes frequently, it's important to me to have a nice quality paper. Like a certain colour I like is off-white or like a pale yellow, especially gridded like this. I really like. Hard to find the right one. So if you just buy your favourite paper and make your own notebooks, you always have the paper you like in your notebooks. Or versus when you buy them just because you like the cover but the paper's shit, you're just like regretting that decision. It's not as nice to write it. So something that I enjoy doing is just making things to make every moment more enjoyable, more pleasurable. This is something that I think a lot of artists do, addicts do as well. I don't know, maybe not, because they live in shitholes. But artists and cooks, they are obsessed with the way things are presented. So am I. I'm interested in not just the way things are presented, but in the way things are formed and prepared, ready for the making of them, then to be exhibited or shown or consumed by someone else. So in every part of the process, I'm trying to make it a pleasure to look at and to make. You know, from the pencils that I use, I really like lovely looking pencils. This is a Faber-Castell. My girlfriend just bought me some beautiful Hayuni by Mitsubishi pencils. I really like Mono 100s by Tombow, and lots of other types of pencils, especially the sort of thicker variety from the Japanese brands like Tombow and Mitsubishi. They make some beautiful pencils. When you purchase things thoughtfully, with consideration, it makes every bit of difference. When you're just going and you're impulse buying and you're buying stuff that's been made cheaply, it's going to be chucked in the bin. It's going to make the use of that thing, so you're just not going to enjoy it as much, are you? But when you thoughtfully buy things and make things, make considered decisions about them, it makes you feel better. And anything that makes you feel better is a good thing in my books. Yeah. Totally, dude. Smell a marshmallow. Power the bubble. Rock and roll. Someone's using a saw. I can hear them. There's a miter saw. Someone is using a miter saw. I don't know who. Yes. What else have I got in this book? I tried to do some comic strip style drawings. I don't know what you call it. Drawing the frames, a storyline for a video that I made. It's a good way of planning a video is to do a storyboard. I mean, I remember doing them in media studies, but filmmakers do these things, and it makes a whole lot of difference when you think about the types of shots that you want in your video. You draw them out, and then you can shoot them, you can tick them off, and then it's easy to edit them together because you shot them in a certain order rather than just getting some random B-roll, which is also good because you like to get those candid shots that you wouldn't otherwise get. But to set them up in a certain way, you're going to get those candid sort of moments, but they're still going to be, you know, thoughtful shots that look good. They've got a certain composition. You don't have to edit things and crop things in post. It's a good idea. Preparation. It's the most important thing. Spontaneity. Bollocks. No such thing. No such thing. Maybe there is. Oh. But I was thinking the other day as well. I was writing on my laptop. It was early in the morning. I had an idea. Just got the laptop, started writing. Doesn't matter where you write, just write. And I wrote down that I thought if I could see it and I could draw it, then I could probably make it. I think that's true, because drawing is a way of learning. Drawing is a way of really becoming hyper fixated with something, really breaking it down. I could even go into, like a furniture charity shop, thrift store, whatever you want to call it, and I'll look at a table and I'll think, I could make that. What I'd do is I'd take a picture of it, do a diagram of it, really think about how I'd make it, and then I could make it. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. But yeah, if you're looking at something, if you want something, you need something, and you've got time on your hands, have a go at making it. You can buy materials relatively affordably. If you have a look on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Gumtree or on your local Facebook groups, even reusing furniture you already have by destroying it and making something new is very good and a lot of fun. It's a meditative thing when you do this type of thing. I like it a lot. Okay. Yes, making things is great. You should try it. Tasty. I've added sugar to this. I'm savouring every little bit of carbohydrate I can before the ketogenic time. Yes. I'm enjoying it too. So much cheese and chocolate has been ingested within the last few days since Christmas. Summer. What else? Ha. Worked at a vintage shop the other day. That was fun. With the Juv. Got paid with a gift voucher. Don't mind if I do. I was just going to help. I didn't want to be paid. I was flung a gift voucher. I was very grateful. Got some overalls. Very nice. Very, very nice. Dickies. I like Dickies. Very good quality. I think I've earned the most money I've ever earned this year. Ever. Which is really good. I think it keeps happening year on year. Especially from my art. So that's good. So I guess I'm going to try and continue that momentum. Keep trying to make more money every year. It's really good. For some reason, at the end of every year, it doesn't feel like I've made lots of money, because I somehow managed to spend it all, even though I talk about investing and saving a lot, being frugal. There's a reason I talk about being frugal. It's because I somehow managed to spend all of the money. Months ago, I was buying cigars and whiskey. I got into that hobby, and that soon diminished with the diminishing funds of fundability. I don't know how. Yeah. Oh, God. We've got a projector for Christmas I'm going to start using, I think, to enlarge micro photographs onto canvas, paper, superimpose portraits, reference photos, and just really start to play with more figurative elements in my paintings that are inspired by micrological biological matters. Microbiological histopathological paintings. Lots of big words. Beautiful, bright paintings inspired by microbiological photographs. I'm trying to introduce figurative elements, not just to try and pull them out of these abstract forms. Oh, that looks like a face. Let me try and make it more like a face, but to actually add on, superimpose my own photography and drawings onto those that I've taken from real life and merge them in with the marks that are there, that are inspired by, or that are actually appropriated from already existing microphotographs of damaged cell tissue, specifically damaged I'm into because it's more morbid. Memento mori, reminding us of death, the inevitable thing. The reason why we have all of these New Year's resolutions is something that I'm particularly interested in because my father died about 2 years ago. Ah! No, it's sad, but it makes you realise, puts things into perspective, it makes you think, no, you know what, I need to start doing stuff. I need to start taking care of my health, running, and the dreams that you have, and also to saying, you know, fuck it, and you know, get pissed sometimes, and smoke cigars, and drink whiskey, and go on lots of holidays, too. But don't forget to look after yourself most of the time so that you can enjoy those things and your body can repair quicker. Mostly, I try to advertise and try to glamorize a healthy lifestyle because I think that's important so that you can have longevity in a body that works. Longevity in a body that works. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to emphasize with my work. Trying to say, you know, fuck off, fuck you, and God damn it. I'm pissed. I'm fucking fed up of the shit and lies that we are fed as a society. You fucks. Painfully into the materiality of the thing that I'm using. Big words, big words, big words. Yeah. So that's fun. Projections. And talking about projections, I think that we do project our own reality onto the world, and it gets sort of reflected back into our eyes, backs of our retinas, what we put onto it based on experiences we've had in the past, how we're feeling in that moment in time because of what side of the bed that we have woken up on. We project our reality onto the world, reflected back to us. And so we should try to warp our perspectives a bit by doing all of this good stuff at the start of the year, having these new routines and habits and things and trying to stick to them. I think just trying to do things you didn't think you could do all that hard is going to make you feel better no matter what. Try to stick to them. If you don't stick to them, don't beat yourself up about it. Just get back on it. You know, you don't have to fucking keep eating the chocolate cake the second day. The third day after you ate whole one, you gorged on it because you got sad and you were like, fuck this shit. I'm not losing any weight after a week of doing this shit. Just get back on it. Carry on. You know, make it more sustainable. To have a little bit of chocolate cake every day, like a tiny little bit, and then maybe you don't want to fucking gorge in a big bit. But remember the reason, figure out a reason you want to do it. Is it to spend more time with your loved ones? Or is it because you want to, I don't know, run a big race? Like, think of the thing that you want to do and then write that down somewhere and have that in your head all of the time. The thing that gives you perspective about the world when someone dies you love, or there's something big and drastic happens like war, or losing lots of money. You know, keep these things in the forefront of your mind, not to make you sad, but just to think, oh, I'm doing this for this reason, because it's easy to forget. So I try not to forget by having some kind, you know, draw something, or have something tattooed, or carry a coin, or some kind of tactile thing have on you all the time so you don't forget. Because it's easy to forget. Even a good idea is to change the wallpaper on your phone. So what I have on here is, don't waste your time chasing butterflies. Mend your garden and the butterflies will come. Which is a brilliant quote from a poet called Mario Quintana, a Brazilian poet, a Portuguese poet. So it wasn't in English to start with. It's a translation. Might not be the most brilliant translation. But don't waste your time chasing butterflies. That means, you know, if you're young lad, don't waste your time chasing women, scaring them off, most likely, because you're an ugly, smelly little shitbag. Mend your garden. It means get in the fucking gym. Start creating habits and things that are going to do you well in later life, and they'll come to you because people are attracted to qualities that they want to see in themselves, I think, and also that they just admire. You'll become more confident as you mend your garden. You'll grow and you'll flourish into a brightly coloured peacock tail, which will attract the types of people that really you want in your life, rather than the fucking free gift with a magazine type of person you don't want to be attracting, which is what you're going to attract if you chase. You probably, they're the only ones that are going to have you if you chase them. You don't want to be chasing anyone. Don't chase. So focus on yourself. This is the year to focus on yourself. Alright? It doesn't mean be a dick to everyone. It just means take time to consider the things that you do, who you spend time with, and, you know, instead of scrolling on your phone for an hour in the morning, do something more productive for yourself, for your own health, like meditate, make yourself a nice breakfast. Doesn't matter if it's unhealthy. It's good to just, you know, spend an hour making a fucking unhealthy pancake stack with bacon on top. Makes you feel better. It's better than scrolling. You've learned how to do something. You made something aesthetically pleasing. It's better than pacing about, thinking about things that really you don't really want, or that are good for you, that aren't good for you. Yeah. So that's a good thing to do. The goal, the thing that you're doing the New Year's resolution for, make that your screen table on your phone. You're always going to have that with you probably, or what I've got in my wallet is a picture of the Joker. In the little see-through bit, which is probably for an ID, but the reason I have that there is to just remind myself that I'm a joker and to have fun and life's not serious, and to put on a silly, well, I said probably more of a jester hat than a joker hat, but you know, life is short. Don't take life so seriously, but at the same time, do and do not. Do unto others. Yeah. Okay, here's some advice. Now, hopefully I'll follow it, but I don't know if I will. I'm good at dishing it out, but I don't know if I'm good at actually following my own advice. Yeah. But we're imperfect. And that's something that's, you know, that's cool. Embrace imperfection. Imperfect world. Perfect world. Right, very nice. Well, I'll see you on the flip side, motherfucker. Have a happy 2025 and make some cool stuff happen. Do some things you never done before and you wanted to do, and just try and do them. It's not that scary. And the first step in overcoming anxiety is to have it. And don't fucking forget that. So by having it, you've already took the first step in overcoming it, because you can't overcome something that you don't experience. So well done for having the fucking panic attack. Well done. Sort it out. Try and figure it out. Yeah. Try therapy. Don't be afraid of having feelings. Yeah. Have a really good 2025. And I'll see you next year, everybody. I rock and roll and lick my balls. Bye-bye.